You know, I don't often talk about matches made in heaven and things that get me excited just because of names, and I'm still not. So recently we got the announcement that Marvel Entertainment and Square Enix were partnering for a multi-video game, multi-year agreement to bring the interactive entertainment to us. And a lot of people seem to be really excited about it. So what we know about this partnership is that it's a multi-year type thing. We've got a bunch of Square Enix style studios going to be developing, and the first batch to do so are none other than Crystal Dynamics, and of course, Eidos Montreal. Now, if you don't know, those are the studios, respectively, behind the Tomb Raider franchise, the reboot, and of course the Rise of the Tomb Raider, as well as, of course, the Deus Ex franchise, okay? Crystal D is behind Tomb Raider, and Eidos Montreal is behind Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. And the very first game that they're going to be developing is an Avengers-style game. In my mind, after having heard of who the studios are going to be that are developing the first game, this Avengers game, my mind went to all sorts of crazy things. I mean, if I could animate it, I would. But what it's pretty much doing, it was putting, Black Widow into the Tomb Raider style gameplay, She's braving the wild and facing people with only her super crazy wire-tastic martial arts schemes. Doesn't sound too bad, actually. On the flip side of that coin, I could just imagine the Deus Ex skinned game for Hawkeye. He's got the different arrows, which you have to figure out, hey, you need a surveillance arrow here. Hey, maybe a smoke arrow here. Hey, maybe just a regular arrow to the face right here. Not the knee, the face. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily sound like much. That's two of the Avengers characters brought to life in games that honestly all they would have to do is just reskin them. But it's a nice concept and my head went right to that. I don't know why, don't ask me. I would love to tell you, but I don't know. I just don't know. It's really nice to see Marvel Entertainment understand that there are more mediums out there than just film and comic books and TV shows. For them to bring a high-end publisher with its really awesome developers in, and since we don't necessarily get a lot of really good superhero games now, it's extremely heartwarming and just satisfying to know that we're not going to get Activision pumping out a bunch of stupid on us just because a new movie's coming out. So this is obviously just the first project that they've announced that's coming. Now we also know that Telltale Games is making its Guardians of the Galaxy game. So we already know that we're going to get that later this year. As long as Marvel is as hands-on with this style in terms of the writing and the gameplay and is bringing in top-tier developers to do something that is not a rushed piece of junk because the movie needs some more kind of publicity, I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that because Lord knows we have been stuck with these piss-poor excuses for games, movie tie-ins, that nobody wants. Look at the lineup that Marvel is giving us in terms of games right now, okay? You think back to that Spider-Man game that was unveiled at E3's press conference for Sony last year. And think about it, if the developers of Sunset Overdrive can get their stuff straight and make this as fun and enjoyable a ride as, it looks like it's going to be, I'm in. Let's do it. I mentioned the Guardians of the Galaxy game. That's just going to be fun because it's Telltale and, it's an easy platinum. Hashtag 2007 G-Money Platinum Trophy Hunt. Not to mention that I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of backwards compatible games make a return on the Xbox One here later this year. Okay, you got to remember that there were actually some really good games that were on the previous gen console which could make a reappearance when these movies get closer to release, just to push the movie's concept. Imagine when Spider-Man Homecoming is releasing soon, you're pretty much going to guarantee we're going to get all the Xbox 360 games that are going to reappear as backwards compatible. Myself personally, I'm hoping for Spider-Man Web of Shadows because that was the last really good one that they made, at least open world. That's just me. But more than anything else, I just want that Wolverine Origins game to become backwards compatible. Do you remember just how good that damn game was? It had no reason to be as good as it was. It had no proper excuse to be as earth-shatteringly, brain-breakingly awesome as it was. And if you never played it, you owe it to yourself to go and pick it up on PS3, 360, PC, what have you. Just play that. Trust me, it's not just good, it's not just great, but it's actually better than the fucking movie it was tied to, which has never been done or since done, okay? That's just me. But overall, guys, that's pretty much what we have to look forward to. I'm really excited for this idea of Square Enix and Marvel's partnership. Obviously, Telltale's going to be doing their thing. The backwards compat games are going to be awesome if they pick the right ones to make backwards compat. Because Lord knows, I do not want Spider-Man Friend or Foe or Spider-Man 3 because I have a certain amount of taste and I don't want to do it to myself. What games are you guys looking forward to with this new partnership that's Square? What style of games can we get out of this? Because that's something I didn't even touch on. What kind of games can they make? Are they level-based? Are they open world? Are you going to interchange the characters like the Lego games? What is it? We don't know. But what we do know is based on the very limited information that we currently have, we really should be excited about where we're going in terms of interactive media and video games with Marvel in the future. I'm really looking forward to it. I really hope this turns out great. The more information we get, the better off we'll be. But until next time, this is me, G Money, telling you guys, peace!